I am Clay T. White, the director of the Oral History Research Center at UNLV. We're located in UNLV Library. So it wasn't just integration takes place all at once. I think there were steps leading to integration. And I think the Moulin Rouge played a critical role because people are getting a taste of what is possible. And at the same time that the Moulin Rouge closes, you begin to see little cracks in the armor of segregation, just little chips. The community was beginning to chip away. So you get professionals, more and more professionals are coming in. When the first Black dentist, Dr. Macmillan, became president of the NAACP, he decided that it just had to change. So he sent a letter to the mayor of the city and said, if 2 weeks from now, on March 26, 1960, if this town isn't integrated, downtown and the strip, we are going to protest by marching on the Las Vegas Strip on a Saturday night. So that 2 week period was a period of negotiations, back and forth. As you probably have heard, that Saturday morning, March 26, 1960, there was a meeting that was held at the Moulin Rouge. The governor of the state, the mayor, the police chief, leaders in the Black community. Lubertha Johnson is the only woman at the table. And evidently, Lubertha decided that she wasn't going to take notes because the Moulin Rouge agreement that was agreed upon that day is not in writing. It is a verbal agreement. So one woman at the table, they probably expected her to take notes, but that's just my input. Hank Greenspun was at the meeting. He was a champion of civil rights here in Las Vegas. And Hank Greenspun is the person in his newspaper that has advocated for integration. When he gets a letter saying something like, well, what do they want? What are they asking for? What do they want? Greenspun is the person who said equality, just like everybody else, equality. Dr. Macmillan began to say things like, I want to live in a cosmopolitan community, don't you? And in order for it to be a cosmopolitan community, we're going to all have to grow together. And I guess they began to see that we have all these Black entertainers. We have people coming and going now in the casinos. And they probably just began to see that this is something that you can't stop. You're not going to be able to stop it. So eventually, some of the owners said yes. That meeting, of course, everybody leaves, and they've decided, we know now from reading Dr. Macmillan's book and hearing other things about this meeting, we know that the decision had already been made when they sat down at the table that Saturday morning. So that Saturday evening, it is now time to test, to make sure that you can really go into these places like they say. Now, the unfortunate part of that is March 26, 1960, I can now go into a casino and I can spend my money. I can gamble. I can go to a show. I can have dinner in a nice restaurant there. But I don't have one of those jobs. I cannot become a dealer. I cannot become a cocktail waitress. I cannot become a bartender. Those jobs that pay that kind of money that you hear people bragging about the tips they earn, you can't have those jobs. Blacks are still only able to work in the back of the house. And that does not change until later in the 1960s, changes with policy with a consent decree, a legal consent decree in 1971. But Caesar's Palace opens with the first two Black cocktail waitresses. So 1966, it begins to happen. So when I say things don't happen all at once, we always see these steps toward it taking place.